If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And it's the economy. Any persons?
I suppose we should be grateful we're not in Greece. Things very bad there. There's rioting. Things so bad, the austerity measures, that they can't even afford to put petrol in their milk bottles to chuck them. Things are so bad they're having to put milk in their milk bottles. That's how bad things are. Oi, take that! Yeah, in 2 hours your clothes are going to smell really bad. The European Central Bank, right, they have said that when it comes to Greece, they think it may be a bit like the Ebola virus, right? And they said we may have to cut off our leg to survive. Now, they may know a bit about finance. They know very little about the Ebola virus. It affects your entire body. You cut your leg off, you've still got the Ebola virus. You've just got one leg bloody less.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is clubbing. Who wants to talk about that? Myers.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can all tell I'm a bit of a clubber. Nothing I like more than getting down to the local hotspot and shaking the old batty and ting, a bit of shawaddy-waddy. Don't mind if I do. No, I have tried nightclubbing. It's not really my thing. I'm a bit too delicate, my system. I was in a nightclub recently. A fellow young raver danced up and shouted, "I'm loving it, loving it, loving it!" I replied, "I'm finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy, finding it all a bit noisy." People jump around like crazy in those places. At one point, my cup and saucer was knocked clean out of my hand. It's tricky. I mean, I've tried the dancing. That's not my thing either. I don't care if I haven't got sexy Latin rhythms. I've got a Latin A-level. Much more transferable in the job market. I was on the dance floor recently. A lot of my fellow young ravers were blowing whistles, so I joined in and gave a bloody good pop on my bugle. Unfortunately, that meant half the Bosworth Hunt came charging in across the dance. Hounds mistook 3 of the ginger students for foxes, and there was a hell of a mess.
Thank you very much, Master. OK, that leaves us with Jack. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is health.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that is my gun. So, we are in the midst of an obesity epidemic, and the people I blame, definitely, are the supermarkets, because I don't think they're doing enough, right? Like, you go into any supermarket now, you buy food. If you care about what you put into your body, you look at the nutritional information, you know, the little wheel of guilt that every packet has on it now. That lures you in, doesn't it? Like, you buy something, like ice cream. It's like, this ice cream only contains 5% of your daily intake of calories. You're like, oh, that's very promising. I'll buy and eat the ice cream then. Then you look up a little bit closer, above the little wheel of guilt, tiny white writing, 1/8 of a tub. Oh, you cheeky bastard. You're not allowed to do that. Put on the packet whatever makes it sound good to sell the product, then make up a ludicrously unrealistic portion size, so I buy it like a twat. That's like Greg's going, this sausage roll only contains 2% of your daily intake of calories, if you lick it. It needs to be more. I think what the supermarkets need to start doing is putting warnings on their packets of food, like they do with cigarettes. You buy cigarettes, it's got a horrible picture of, like, a lung caked in shit. You're like, oh, I don't want to smoke that. You should do it with food. Tesco's, on cakes, should just have pictures of, I don't know, a really fat woman crying as she walks out of Topshop empty-handed.
OK, at the end of that round, what the hell? Points for everyone. Come on, sit back down here.
Love a quiz.
It is our Liz quiz. Obviously, we'd like
the expense that has been spent on that.
I really want to thank you for coming in and recording that little wave. What 2 common documents does the Queen not have?
The Da Vinci Code. And Life of Pi. Next.
Yes. Oh, the rest of them, she has them all. So, yeah.
She doesn't have a driving licence.
She doesn't have a driving licence.
No, although she has qualified to drive.
Yes, she has. She can drive. She trained to drive in the army, as far as I know.
She did, yeah. She stripped down engines and everything. in the army.
Absolutely, yeah.
Passport.
There's no driving licence and is the only person in the country who doesn't need a passport, as they're issued in her name. And so she cannot issue in her own name because, you know... But I think she's relatively good on the ID front because she just take out a tenner and go... oh, you not get this? Go send a letter, bitch. What did the Queen invent with a dachshund and a corgi?
A doggy.
Yes!
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I was joking!
She invented a breed of dog called the Dorgie.
Which, you say she invented it? What, she was there going, right, you put that in there now.
She didn't invent it, though, did she?
According to this card, yes, she did.
She couldn't have gone on Dragon's Den.
One needs £30,000 for 40%. It's always 40%. That's all they ever want, no matter how much you're going to say initially. 8%, 40. It's commonly known that the Queen owns the UK swans. Commonly known that the Queen owns the UK swans, says here. But what other water-based animals does she also have the right to own?
Ducks.
Not ducks, no.
Shopping trolleys.
I think it's... Is it dolphins?
It is. It's dolphins, whales, and
Pretty big
sturgeons.
on the royal family. I know a lot of stuff.
You really are, actually. It's quite worrying. Any dolphins, whales, and sturgeons within 3 miles of the UK, they're hers.
Do the dolphins know, or do they just stray in and then that's it?
If they get too close, she's in a speedboat constantly. All right? Just patrolling that 3-mile limit around the country. Right?
With her army of swans.
With her army of swans who work to track them.
When she does that wave, she's actually doing a fin motion to summon her dolphin army.
Army of dolphins, assemble! I come to do with an army of dolphins. I want £40,000 for 35% of the company.
I have invented a swolfin.
Unlikely things to read on a motorway sign.
For Middlesbrough, take the exit marked hell and then lose the will to live.
Accident. You were one. Love, Mum and Dad.
When lights flash, dogging is about to start. There may be trouble ahead. Prepare to face music and dance.
You are now 200 metres beyond the junction that your piece of shit sat-nav is telling you you're approaching now.
For those of you looking for more safety tips, text now.
Beware, giant scissors coming towards you along the dotted lines.
Turn on lights in tunnel. They're on the right, just above the entrance.
Turn off the sat-nav. Use the force, Luke.
The North, where the men are real men, and so are quite a lot of the women.
If you can taste this sign, it means you've crashed into it.
Throw banana skin behind car now. Super Mario and Diddy Kong approaching from rear.
There was a young man from Preston who tried to drive to Heston. The sign wouldn't rhyme and he ploughed into the back of a juggernaut.
Pick us up a pint of milk, Tell. Thanks, Trace.
at the end of that round. The point winner, Jack here in Milton. OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is work.
I nearly lost my job as a roofer when I was caught masturbating on the first day. Yeah, luckily, my boss said I could wipe the slate clean. I used to work at Waterstones. One day, a guy came in asking if we had any audiobooks with subtitles. I thought, hang on, that's a book. The circus near me held a competition to find the best contortionist, so I entered myself and won. In my old job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to work in panto. I've got 2 lawyers working for me at the minute. One's pro bono, and the other thinks he's a right pretentious twat. When my granddad was caught trying to stow away in the Merchant Navy, he offered to work his passage, which, as you can imagine, made him very popular. I hate people who phone me up just to complain about the weather, which is why I lost my job at Mountain Rescue. I was at a station the other day that had a piano on the platform, so I had a little tinkle on it, which saved me 30 pence. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. I bought a Microsoft Advent calendar. If you open too many windows at once, they all shut again for no bloody reason. Thank you.
Well done. Very good. The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Angela, which category would you like?
I'd like home news, please, Dara.
Home news. Ah, blessed break from sport. The answer is 56 years. What is the question?
Is it how long does it currently take to get a UK passport?
Is it what the minimum prison sentence should be for anybody that takes their shirt off in the summer? I find it unacceptable. I remember, like, when it used to be hot days, my dad would open up the curtains first thing in the morning and say, the white people are going to get naked today.
Is it how much did David Moyes age in his 6 months at Old Trafford?
How long would most blokes happily sleep in the same sheets for?
What does a 2-minute match summary by Phil Neville feel like?
Is it how long has Prince Charles been thinking, oh, any day now?
Is it how long could I hold a poo in if I shared a flat with Oscar Pistorius?
I tell you what, that is the Flatshare sitcom I want to see.
How long would it take to collect sufficient owls for Labour to honour their manifesto commitments?
Is it how long since England were last eliminated in the first round of the World Cup?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Josh Ridgecombe. Very good. Yes, the answer I was looking for was how long is it since England last failed to progress beyond the group stage of a World Cup? Were you surprised? Were you gutted?
No, I mean, we didn't lose all our games, did we? I mean, I thought we managed a very creditable 0-0 draw with the 2,500 to 1 outsiders. So, you know, people said we had low expectations, didn't we? And then we all got disappointed when we were knocked out after 2 games. So, obviously, our expectations weren't quite low enough, were they?
What was it? It's the players as well. They didn't... Wayne Rooney said that if we'd won, we'd have gone through, and that's the main lesson to learn. and you're going, if that's the main lesson to learn, we really need to go back to basics.
Well, they were Liverpool, though, and Liverpool had 5 England players in the match day team, didn't they? There was Sterling, Sturridge, Johnson, Henderson and Gerrard. And, of course, Uruguay had 2 Liverpool players in the squad, Suarez and Gerrard again. So...
Very busy man that day, wasn't he? Yeah.
It's interesting, because I'm finding out, now that England are out, I'm finding out about the backgrounds of all my friends, because suddenly my friend the other day was suddenly, you know, well, actually, I'm half German, so I'll support Germany now. So you kept quiet about that on D-Day, didn't you?
Didn't you, Gunter? Yes, well, I thought it was an unfortunate thing to bring up on the boat.
I've actually just started pretending I'm Costa Rican. I will switch to whatever I need to, you know. In the cricket, I'm very Sri Lankan at the moment. During the Ashes, I pretended I was Aborigine. Like, I don't care. I will go wherever the results take me.
If I were Roy Hodgson now, I'd be a pundit, because, like, he could be a pundit anywhere in the world. Apparently, he can speak 5 languages. Yes. Roy Hodgson, which is literally 5 more than Phil Neville. So...
Roy Hodgson always looks like a man who'd be far happier inside eating soup.
What did a lot of England fans find enormously irritating immediately after the matches?
Reality.
It was England footballers doing adverts.
Yes.
Things like the Carlsberg fan squad advert.
Yes, there was a series of other people found there were complaints about, you know, Joe Hart and his dandruff, which, luckily, he's still beaten. Good man, Joe, well done. I said, why does that company, I'm going to give them the free ad, that company who does an anti-dandruff shampoo, which you all know, you say the word anti-dandruff shampoo, and bing, why do they even spend money? Who goes, maybe I'll have a competing anti-dandruff shampoo for my shampoo? Well, there's one company who makes it.
Some of us, Dara, are still worrying about dandruff.
It's an unusual put-down, isn't it? On the one hand, zing, I'm bald. But yet, on the other, you don't come out of it like a prince, has to be said.
I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't think it through.
Take that, bald man. Oh, you social loser. Yes, it has to be said that some of the England squad were probably not as well known as others. There was a young squad, a new squad. I mean, for example, there was this range of commemorative mugs that was brought out, and they were there on sale. And we're not making this up. And all the members of the squad, particularly Chris Smalling, the Manchester United defender.
I cannot believe they put Theo Walcott's picture on.
It's mortifying, isn't it, actually? Yeah. That's Smalling, and for reference, a picture of...
I hope there's not a mix-up, and Chris Smalling's now going to have to be the President of the United States of America.
Well, what happens is, if he's going to get a phone call from David Cameron going, I finally got some service. I finally got coverage. What do we do about the Shia situation? I don't know. OK, here we go. Let's have a look at the first topic. And the first subject is relationships. Ellie.
So I've got quite a close relationship with my sister, and she's got my little nephew, Henry, who is a prick. No, he is. Don't take his side. You haven't met him. Because before he came along, I was the youngest in the family. I was the baby of the family, which we all know is the socially acceptable way for saying favourite. A role I was born to play until my sister, Slaggy McSlaggerson, got herself knocked up by some dude she had barely been married to for 6 years. Suddenly it was all about her and the baby within. Now, initially, naively, I did actually get quite excited about the pregnancy, because I think especially from, like, a female point of view, you wouldn't be human if you didn't get excited about your sister putting on a lot of weight. Had a lot of fun with that. We did. I changed her ringtone to the sound of a large lorry reversing. Just sisterly banter, really. But the banter stopped when the baby came, because suddenly it was all about him. No one paid me any attention anymore. Like, I don't know if you've ever had, like, sort of a family dinner with a small child around. It's a nightmare. There's food being thrown, there's shit everywhere, there's tits hanging out. You name it, I tried it, still nothing. Thank you.
very good. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been given us. Spin the wheel. And the topic is entertainment.
I'm reading a book at the moment. It's called The Anticlimax. The first part is good. I see Rihanna had to cancel a concert because she got salmonella. Ella. I also see that down by the Thames they're making another wheel, this time dedicated to Mary Poppins, called the London Diddle-Diddle-Diddle-Diddle-Eye. My grandmother, she got her scarf caught in one of those Ferris wheels, but she did regain consciousness. After all, what goes around... I was in a nativity play once. I was the man who scares the children because he comes into the hall on the wrong day to play badminton. Lionel Richie says hello, by the way. The other day I saw a sheep pole dancing in a kebab shop.
Thank you very, very much. OK. Getting that round the point. Let's go back.
Part man, part machine, part bird, part drum. It's Robo Bongo Cuckoo Cop. Thank you very much. Is it? Yeah. How many times have I dropped a bath bomb in a lemonade?
It was that good, was it?
Put it this way, mate, you don't do it twice. I think... Serious suggestion here.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, by the way. I realise I haven't said hello to you today.
Hello, James. Good to see you.
Hello, good to see you all. My main point...
I would like to compliment you on managing to find a jumper. This is the exact same colour as your hair.
Thank you.
It's very good.
And my shirt.
And your shirt.
I'm working on my skin. I'm hoping this soon I can just be completely in mustard and then hide in Coleman's.
To seem, you know, churlish, but can we return to the topic at hand?
Absolutely.
Can you remember what the topic was?
Trump's got to be careful with all these lies, man. It gets you in trouble. Let me tell you a story, Dara.
I'm always happy for James' story.
A little boy named Pinocchio. He was a little wooden puppet who came to life because he was possessed by a demon. And he would go around and he would lie to everyone because of the devil. And then all the villagers, they put him on a bonfire and they burnt his soul to ash. And Trump should learn, you never trust a puppet.
And we've all learnt an important lesson there.
You fucking idiot.
Do another one, another one.
No, literally, no.
I want to hear James's version of the Bible.
Yes. The entire time.
In the beginning.
No. The topic is moving house.
I moved house recently. Luckily. That's good, isn't it? It's fortunate. Touch and go for a second there, and that came up, and I was like, ka-ching! Jackpot! I did move house recently. Tad too drafty for my liking, my new house. Had to order a draft excluder by post. Best way to buy a draft excluder is by post, because when they deliver it, they post it through the door, it drops through the letterbox onto the floor. Already it's paying for its own postage. Moved to West London. I used to live in South West London. Different times, I was a different person. Used to be in a gang. Big time in a gang. SW6 gang is our name. It's the area of London we're from, is our name. And it's what we'd shout at other gangs we didn't like much. Like, if I saw the SW5 gang, for example, would shout at them, SW6! That's clever. I remember once, back in the day, we're out and about, SW6 crew, taking no shit. Looked across the road, we saw them, SW5 gang. And as soon as I saw them, I was cross. Shouted at them, SW6! As per. And shouted back at us, SW5! Which we expected, but it still made us angry. SW6 back at them, SW5 back at us, back and forth for ages. Until eventually, I got so overstimulated that I shouted out my entire postcode in full, and that is why I had to move house. Big rivalry between the two of them, because they're both brothers, and I think we can all relate to that. We can all relate to it. I have a massive rivalry with Prince William.
Why don't you get on with him?
He started it, mate. He's a dick. Don't ask me. I'm quite nice to him.
Where'd you meet him?
Well, Lidl. You can pretty much find anything in Lidl. Including the future King of England. And he was next to a Polly Pocket and a waffle machine. And
was this Lidl in the 80s?
Yeah.
Polly Pocket and a waffle machine.
Yeah, Polly Pocket, a waffle maker.
Wham, we're playing
Prince William and some raisins, and I said...
Sorry, you sound like someone at the end of the Generation game failing to remember the items.
Yeah. Toy knocking about.
Okay, we apparently have to move on.
I know. Flying.
He was in mid-flow.
I know, I'm sorry.
Tell them, you just trust me, I'm building up to something.
I'm watching a match. And the topic is cinema. Where you go.
Speaking of the cinema, Sarah Pascoe's an idiot. Love going to the cinema. My favourite film I ever saw at the cinema was the Eddie Redmayne classic, The Theory of Everything. I loved it. It should have been called Look Who's Hawking. That's my only criticism. No, it was perfect. Worst part of going to the cinema is other people. Easily. I'm sitting there. King of the Jerks is behind me. This really angry man. Had a go at me at one point because I was snacking. Get over yourself, Grandad. I'll do what I like. In his defence, I was eating a big bag of fortune cookies. Cracking them open, reading them out loud. It was disruptive. It was disruptive. End of this film, man behind me goes, that's 2 hours of my life I'm not getting back. I thought, got some bad news for this guy. Every hour of your life. Now you're never getting back. They're gone forever. Time is not refundable. Death is the end. And I know that because 5 minutes earlier, I'd read it in a fortune cookie.
Parties. Who wants to go in that? James.
I went to a surprise party recently with my friend Darryl. We were all in his living room, all of us, in the dark, hiding. His girlfriend turned to us all. She went, right, he's going to be here in a minute. When he gets in, everyone jump out, yell surprise, and that will be really surprising. I argued it'd be a lot more surprising if instead of making all that commotion, we all just stood there in his living room in the dark, just... When he comes in and turns the lights on, see how surprised he is then? It's a good party. I schmoozed. I'm good at schmoozing. Buttering people up. I'll give you some schmoozing tips, why not? A lot of people will tell you when you're schmoozing, have a good icebreaker, right? Break the ice. What they won't tell you, at the end of the conversation, unbreak the ice. You don't want anyone else swooping in, taking advantage of all the lovely little ice cubes that you created. So freeze it over again before you leave. So as you're leaving, just slide something under the fence, like death comes to us all, something like that. the minute, the whole thing's even more confusing than it has been. That's why all this is going... The whole in and out thing, I think everyone's finding it difficult.
Yep.
In and out is a very hard decision. It's like the other day, my flatmate was making me a peppermint tea, and he said, would you like the bag leaving in or taken out? And it's very hard, because if you leave the bag in, then over time, the cup of tea itself as a whole will get stronger, and it might appear like the bag is getting weaker, but it's now part of a stronger cup of tea. Whereas, if you take the bag out, the tea's now quite weak, and the bag itself goes directly in the bin.
That may be the smartest thing anyone has said in the last 2 months.
And the subject is food.
I'm trying to eat more healthily lately. I bought some ready-to-eat apricots this week. They say you are what you eat, which is true, because as soon as I bought the ready-to-eat apricots, I was ready to eat apricots. Those ready-to-eat apricots, they came in a resealable bag as well, because not everyone's as ready to eat apricots as they think they are. Maybe next time they'll buy ready-to-eat some apricots. I know shitloads about bread. There's no such thing as prawn bread. So the origin of prawn toast remains a mystery. Favourite place to eat is Pret a Manger. If you don't know Pret a Manger, it's an authentic French restaurant. So much in there, so much to manger. I love manger in there. I think my favourite thing to manger is the yoghurts. I love to manger the yoghurts. You've got granola on top, then mainly yoghurt, then like fruit compote at the bottom. It's the way they eat it in Paris. And get a spoon, you mix it all together, and then you manger it that way. If you like. Or if you like, just leave it as it is, don't mix it, and just work your way down in order. Like, start off with nothing but granola to begin with, just shoveling raw granola in your mouth, just deflecting off your teeth, then power through the yoghurt for a really long time, getting absolutely nothing out of it, then end on the tangy compote. Like, whoa, what a finale! That's how I eat yoghurt. I eat them like they're packaged. That's why I like them fruit corners. They come with that little chaser.
The first subject is leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time, just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga. You think you can leave? You can't leave. Person at the back, maybe, they can let go, make a run for it. Everyone else, you let go. You're not out the conga. Now, you're the leader of a rival conga. Now you've got turf wars to worry about. Worst case scenario, you're second from the back, you let go. The one person behind you loves congas, isn't giving up for anyone. You're trying to mingle at the party with a maniac on your hips. You have a serious discussion about the Lib Dem conference and still going hell for leather. You'd have to go swimming just to get rid of them. Never going to lead a conga. Never going to lead a free cheers either. I don't know who these lunatics are. I don't know where you acquire that level of confidence. Just get up in a room full of people. Free cheers for Jackie, hip hip. What if everyone goes, no? Not free cheers for Jackie, she's an unpleasant person. How about no cheers for Jackie? Hip hip, shut up.
How has a monkey sparked debate this week?
Oh, it's the selfie monkey.
It is the selfie monkey, you're absolutely right.
That's obviously quite an old story, the monkey that took the selfie, and we all like that picture, but now it's like in court that who owns the rights to the image?
Yep,
and some people, it's debates whether it's the photographer who owned the camera and left it there for the monkey to play with, or If it is the monkey who owns the right to a photo it didn't know it was taken.
But the monkey's not going to have a career as a photographer. I'm not going to go to a wedding and they're going to go, where's the photographer? Masturbating and throwing shit at the bridesmaids. Not again, anyway.
This ruined the first wedding. This is why we had to do it all again.
Here's our wedding photos. It's just a load of selfies taken by a monkey. Obsessed with itself.
That'd be great.
In the veil, holding the boat.
Just, if behind it there was like a bride and groom just trying to look around it. Like going, "Wah!" Just taking photographs of
Everyone's there. That better not have been of yourself again.
You doing a selfie again, selfie monkey?
Just wasting everyone's time.
Okay, now just the bride's family. Just the
You can't see the camera, I can't see you.
I mean,
And it's food and drink.
I'm not like Rob. I don't like going out getting drunk. I like staying in. I drink on my own. Way cooler, man. I lock the door. I get myself a glass of punch. Is that weird? I drink punch on my own. Is that strange? I drink it from a big punch bowl with a ladle in it in the corner of my bedroom. Is that weird? I don't know what other people do. People are always worried about punch getting spiked. Solo punch, problem solved. Not to spike myself, unless it's Fun Time Thursdays. Tried going out with some mates recently. We hit the town. I'm a prankster when I'm out with my friends. One of them left me alone with his pint while he went to the toilet. Big mistake. It's a classic prank. I always do this if someone leaves me alone with their pint. I went round the bar using his pint to propose toasts with. Deliberately proposing toasts to things I knew he disagreed with. He comes back, has a sip. What you done with that? I'm like, ha ha. You just drank to the service charge being included in the bill. You just drank to those bedside lamps that don't have the switch on the cord like is convenient, but have it on the neck of the lamp under the bulb. It's like a bolt you have to somehow slide across, and you can't even reach it like that. You get your whole hand up inside the lampshade, and it hurts. It's really awkward. You can't even see it. You got to look at the top of the lampshade to see what you're doing, and then you turn it on and it blinds you. You just drank to those lamps. You love those lamps.
Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. The subject is rejected exam questions.
Which of the following is a quote by Winston Churchill? A, we will fight them on the beaches. B, goddamn, I love these peaches. C... If the borrowers never returned anything they borrowed, why were they called the borrowers and not the thieving little bastards? Which of the following is a quote by Winston Churchill? A, we will fight them on the beaches. B, goddamn, I love these peaches. So I can't do that. It makes me laugh too much. I love, goddamn, I love these peaches so much. Which of the following is a famous fucking...
Okay, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a train.
Now an announcement for the people who insist on sitting the way the train is moving because sitting backwards feels weird. You're weird. I'm scared of tunnels. I'm so scared of tunnels.
And at the end of that round, the boys are going to Ed, Hugh and James.
The question I was looking for was, what was Europe's winning score in the Ryder Cup? This is news that Europe's golfers retained the Ryder Cup after producing a stunning comeback in a tense and exciting final day in Chicago. After trailing the United States 10-6 after 2 days' play, they produced an outstanding performance to win by 14.5 points to the United States' 13.5 points. Did you watch it?
Yeah, it's brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the course was all set up, of course, for the Americans. They had very long fairways for their big hitters, not too much rough, so as they play their iron shots, and very few female spectators to distract Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, of course, who lost the foursomes, which came as a surprise because he'd had so much practice.
I've never seen such a thrilling game of golf, and I didn't see this one either.
Do you love the American names, though? Because that's what I like most about it. Their captain was called Davis Love III. And I thought, that is a great name, but do I need to know that? That you love the third? I mean, I love the 18th, but don't go on about it.
I'd like Dara to say it, though.
What, Davis Love the Third?
Oh,
yeah, I know you wanted me to say...
Sport.
You wanted me to say the third, and then we're dancing with a pig under my arm.
That is exactly what I want.
By the way, the Americans were 10-6 up, which is, till then, a historically unassailable lead, practically away from home. But they had a rousing speech on the night before.
Yeah. George Bush.
George
W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
On the Saturday night, when it looked like the fight was won, George W. Bush came along and said the fight was won, and then the next day the fight was lost. How unlike George W. Bush to say the fight has been won, and then it turns out it's not. The US team can count themselves lucky they're not still on the course in bunkers doing that with mortars flying over their heads.
Yeah, Bush walks out and goes, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Cut to 2 years later. Well, we hope to get our golfers out of the course some stage. We want to bring them back for Christmas. That's what we're hoping. Who needed a police car to take him to the first tee?
Rory McIlroy.
Wow, very good. Yes, you're absolutely right.
His excuse was that the coverage on the telly was timed as being an hour on Eastern time, when in fact he was in Illinois. So it was an hour. There was an hour's difference. But the fact is, he was still watching the Ryder Cup on the telly. He was still there, going, "Oh, what's on? Golf. I love golf." That's the what are these people up to? A lot of people standing around looking at their watches. What's he
playing him today?
Rory, when this guy turns up, is he going to be... Wow.
Ding! Penny drop. Here's a picture of the European team celebrating their win. Can you sum this up with a phrase or a caption?
Yep, what a load of swingers.
This is what's happening in the 1970s right now.
I think you're twisting again. You know, like we did last summer.
Is this Marks and Spencer's launches its new Looks Like a Dick range?
Yeah. This year's lineup for Strictly looks a bit shit.
Is it Gangnam Style?
Gangnam Style. It's their version of Gangnam Style. It's in fact Gingham Style.
You think they look happy? You should see the bloke in the jacket shop.
I sold them! I sold them!
Somewhere there's a branch of Garfunkels with no tablecloths.
Very much. Your category is politics, and the answer is 8%. What is the question?
How much of Abu Hamza will have to be removed so as they can get him through the Heathrow metal detector? What level of erection did I once try and have sex with?
Do you measure on that scale, or is it just on terms of...
Image of you going out on the pole, checking your wallet before you go out. Condom, protractor.
How is the government planning to catch middle-class tax avoiders?
With a butterfly net and the van from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It'll probably work better than the plan they have.
They're planning to catch them using lie detectors. Middle-class people taking lie detector tests. It's like an upmarket version of Jeremy Kyle. And I'd like to see that. Wouldn't you like to see that middle-class Jeremy Kyle? You know, my cleaner ran off to another family. My husband's using the wrong cutlery. You corked my Merlot!
The next topic is environment. Andy Parsons.
So, now, apparently, plastic bags are evil, because apparently they take 100 years to biodegrade. Now, that came as a bit of a shock to me, because often when you get a bag in a supermarket, they seem to biodegrade when you put anything heavy in them. That is why people double bag, isn't it? Because otherwise it's like a crap magic trick, isn't it? They give you the bag, you put the bag on the counter, you put the stuff in the bag, you pull up the bag, and hey presto, the stuff's still there on the bloody counter.
Well done, Andy Parsons.
People were saying, oh, well, it's stupid, you know, what's the point of any of our kids learning Arabic? But it could be quite useful, couldn't it? For instance, if you were sat on the tube and two people in front of you were speaking Arabic, it would make you a little more relaxed about what they had in their bag. Basically, these education proposals, you know, they've been upsetting teachers. And you don't want to upset a teacher, do you? Very easy to upset a teacher. All you've got to do to upset a teacher is go, "Ooh, you've got long holidays." They don't like that, do they? And then, if you continue with that with, "Oh, and you finish at 3:30. Oh, they're livid, aren't they? Oh, I've got me marking.
And Frankie, the next topic is... it's terrorism. Andy's in like a shot.
Now, Tony Blair has once again tried to justify improving our nuclear weapons because he says one of the reasons is he's worried terrorists such as Osama bin Laden might get hold of them. Now, once again, I think this is scaremongering. We know Osama bin Laden hasn't got a nuclear weapon because we haven't seen it on his videos. We know he's got a rifle and a donkey. I don't think we've got to worry until he's ditched the rifle and we see his donkey strapped with a cruise missile.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Bad things to say at a job interview.
I'm really only here because I'm hoping to slip on a wet floor and then fall off a ladder.
Hey, I remember you from the dungeon. How you doing? It's me, Gimpy Terry.
I'm Gimpy Terry's mate.
He has been accused of verbally abusing a policeman at the gates to Downing Street who wouldn't let him through the main gates and forced him to go through the pedestrian gates. He swore at the policeman and apparently called him a pleb.
They may have changed the words he said, because the words they claim he says was, "Best you learn your effing place, you don't run this effing government, you're effing plebs." Right. He said he didn't say those words. Now, I can't read out what words he said, because he hasn't told us, so those are the only ones I can read out.
These are the people, though, who are charged with protecting him. You don't want to upset them.
No.
Oh, yes, I didn't catch Mr. Mitchell as he fell from the second floor of the building, because I didn't think he'd want me to touch him, given that I'm a pleb and everything. But as we took his body out of Downing Street, we took him through the main gate. It's what he would have wanted.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown with his immediate predecessor, Tony Blair. But what does BMCB stand for?
Is it Brown's Mental Complete Breakdown?
or is it just Britain's Mr. Charisma Bypass?
Is it Blundering Morons Crucifixion Begins?
Well, is it just bollocks, my career's buggered?
Sometimes that's all satire needs to be.
Yeah.
I'll call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on Comic Relief.
And we'd just like to thank the donation of 160,000 turkeys from a Mr. B. Matthews.
The next topic is the worst thing your new neighbour could say.
What day do the bins go out round here? My wife's body's starting to stink.
I hope my turkeys won't be keeping you awake. So, it was the Olympic parade last week. It's great seeing it live. Obviously, I had to keep a certain amount of a low profile in the crowd because I was throwing a sickie from work at the time. But it was great. 21 buses driving through London at a steady 2 miles an hour. So very like a normal day in London, really. There was an embarrassing moment, though, when one of the conductors rang the bell on the bus and then got the shit kicked out of him by the blind football team. And I realised, actually, that I could get into any sport during the Olympics. The only sport I couldn't actually get into, dressage. Watching a horse walk and then reverse. They call it horse ballet. I don't think anybody would go and see ballet if it was just some bloke walking a bit quicker, slowing down a bit, stopping, bowing, and then pissing off. And secondly, not many people go to ballet anyway because it's shit. Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Is it the number of tweets that David Cameron's received to his new Twitter account that include the word tosspot? Is it, in fact, what are the chances against getting a joke about Jim Fricks on the BBC?
Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19 if you're good enough. So you can see where it's coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. She's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken. Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him, he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think it's kind of ironic that you'd ban smoking in pubs in London when it's kind of impossible to breathe outside a pub in London. Children are chasing buses down the street, like nipping at the tailpipe, hoping for chunks of charcoal fresh air, you know.
So says the man from LA.
After that, people drive cars, right? I'm
Yes.
guessing a car puts out more smoke than maybe a cigarette?
It does, but that doesn't mean, yeah.
You don't actually drive inside. You know, don't drink and drive, especially in the pub.
OK, so war on terror. Who wants to go first? Andy?
Yes, the war on terror. The Americans have said, you know, they're worried that Iraq is their new Vietnam. Let's hope not. Otherwise, we're in for some shit movies in about 10 years' time.
Good man, Andy. Well done. Andy Parsons there. Your category is sport. The answer is 1 billion.
Is it how many wives would Henry VIII have had if he'd been on Tinder?
I shall have her. And I shall have her. Am I even flicking the right way? I shall have her. OK. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Is it how many pounds in cash did the Queen hide under her bed when she'd seen that Jeremy Corbyn had been elected leader?
Her family security is at risk. Here's a picture of the new Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. So what's going on here?
Has he been sleeping in the bin on the right?
The idea it could be the oldest delivery boy in the world still hasn't figured out how to hold a pizza correctly.
Is he such a dedicated socialist that he refuses to look to the right, even though that's the direction he is in fact looking?
Our topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So, we've had the Lib Dems announce their immigration plan. What they like to do is they like to put immigrants into places in Britain which don't, at the moment, have many immigrants. Quite what those parts of Britain will feel about that policy. I grew up for quite a long time in Cornwall, and there they regarded anybody who came from Devon as an immigrant. We had one bloke on our street who was known as the Traveller because he'd once been by train up to London. And we have a new president for Europe, a man by the name of Herman Van Rompuy. Now, the Sun can't wait to get a headline going on this one. Rumpy Pumpy, Rumpy Numpty, Humpty Rumpy. They'll go for gold if he gets involved in an affair with a one-legged ugly dwarf. Rumpy Pumpy from Rumpy Numpty with Frumpy Stumpy Grumpy.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Your category is world news. Your answer is 1/5. What's the question?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, boss?
OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know. I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
The Olympics. Who wants to come in that? Any Parsons?
Now, I don't know how you got on with getting tickets for the Olympics. There are still tickets for the Greco-Roman wrestling. Yeah, whoopee-doo. There aren't so many Romans in Britain anymore, are there? And those Greeks can't afford the tickets. And we will have forever our first GB football team. Yeah, it'll be the first time that Ryan Giggs, Ashley Cole and John Terry have got together since the last Miss World contest. But if you haven't got any tickets, go and see the Olympic road race cycling, right? It's free, yeah? But it's not the same as proper road cycling. Never in the Olympics do you see somebody having to go off into a ditch because there's a lorry turning left. Never do you see somebody go over the handlebars because some idiot in his car has opened the door without looking in his side mirror. Never do you see somebody fall off their bike because a car has screamed past and somebody has whined down the window and shouted, "Boo!" Although that may happen when the Olympics come to Hackney in 2012.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. What did David Cameron do recently that no other serving British Prime Minister has ever done?
Samantha Cameron.
Yeah. That's true. But he also went on Letterman in the States, didn't he?
He came out to loads of dry ice and they said it represented a London fog when we haven't had a London fog for over 100 years. That's the stereotype image that those Americans believe. What? The fat, dumb redneck. The closest we've currently got to a London fog is Boris Johnson at the moment. Either that or Amy Childs from The Only Way Is Essex.
What Boris Johnson did say was that he got it wrong deliberately because he didn't want to seem like he had Latin coming out of every orifice. Now, that sounds creepy, doesn't it?
The thing about Boris Johnson, though, isn't it, is everybody thinks he's quintessentially English, but in fact he was born in America, named after a Russian, and looks like a Swedish person who's eaten another Swedish person.
And it's the economy. Andy Parsons.
I suppose we should be grateful we're not in Greece. Things very bad there. There's rioting. Things so bad, the austerity measures, that they can't even afford to put petrol in their milk bottles to chuck them. Things are so bad they're having to put milk in their milk bottles. That's how bad things are. Oi, take that. Yeah, in 2 hours your clothes are going to smell really bad. The European Central Bank, right, they have said that when it comes to Greece, they think it may be a bit like the Ebola virus, right? And they said we may have to cut off our leg to survive. Now, they may know a bit about finance. They know very little about the Ebola virus. It affects your entire body. You cut your leg off, you've still got the Ebola virus. You've just got one leg bloody less.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Lines you wouldn't hear in a war film.
We've managed to crack the Germans' code. Turns out they were sending messages in German.
I'm afraid we can't afford goggles. So what we're going to have to do, we're all going to have to go like this.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
And it's gold for Ireland. And it...
Go on, go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's fuck all for Ireland.
No, I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right? Discarded titles for the next Harry Potter book.
Harry Potter and the Mudblood Prince in a Nazi uniform. Harry Potter and the two other kids who can't act.
The first topic is global warming. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Sheryl Crow, she's gone into the debate. She wants us to save natural resources by apparently using only one sheet of toilet paper per visit. Now, let's face it, sometimes that's just not feasible, is it? But ever since I found that out, part of me's there thinking, each time I use more than one sheet, I've let Sheryl Crow down. Then part of me's thinking, oh, I'd never want to go out with Sheryl Crow. She's a toilet paper Nazi. And half the time, she's probably got a dirty arse.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Here's a picture of former Prime Minister Tony Blair recently, but what does BGBC stand for?
Is it in fact Blair's guilt-free, blood-stained conscience?
That was a lovely answer.
Is it in fact everything the British Army didn't have when we went to war? Bullets, guns, bombs, choppers. I would like to apologise for the rocking of this boat, but we are currently being humped by a whale. There appears to have been an incident in the swimming pool. If a Mr. Barrymore could contact the captain. He actually has ice baths in a wheelie bin. And I mean, that can't be enjoyable, can it? Particularly if he does it on a Tuesday and gets carried away by the cancer.
What a rugby commentator would never say.
Oh, and he skipped through the defence, and that's lucky, because if these South Sea Islanders catch you, they eat you.
And it's the coin toss, and Johnny Wilkinson has sprained his thumb. And here comes... It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Is it Murray showing Tim Henman how bath time is different?
Is Andy Murray going to be cryogenically frozen and then brought back when Novak Djokovic has retired?
Sorry, Andy.
I know what it is. Andy's from Scotland. They don't get too much sun over there. He's enjoying the reflection of the trophy.
I'm assuming that's the picture he's put on eBay.
he looks like a centaur. He's like his legs bend backwards in that bar. That must be why he covers the court so quickly. If his legs backwards, you can never love me, my friend.
He always plays on Centaur Court.
Yeah, bravo.
That trophy, you could fit your head inside. Have you toyed with putting your head in the trophy and playing Nightmare?
Oh, my God, amazing.
I haven't, actually, no.
When you get home, you are going to have the time of your life.
Have you put the baby in the trophy? Have you put the baby in the trophy? You've surely put the baby in the trophy.
She doesn't fit.
Oh, it's the baby.
We tried, but...
I'm delighted to hear it. Of course you had it.
I have a difficult... Congratulations, by the way, Mr. That's what you say before you dig into someone. I have difficulty appreciating tennis because every point and every set and everything you do in tennis is in silence and absolute concentration. Right? You know how many goals Jamie Vardy would score if people just shut up before he kicked the ball? No? Yes? No?
I feel you've not been watching Andy, who has a distinctive monologue running. This is not a man who hides his emotions. This is going so badly.
What he does is he invites people...
But now it seems to have turned. Yes, it's turned. Now it's gone badly again. I've lost the point. Jesus, this must be exhausting, Big Andy Murray.
There's people in your box that you've invited, and then you just shout at them. Do you know what, mate? Unlucky, but you're about to get a taste of your own medicine. You Scottish... No,
I'd love you to come on.
Why are you doing this today? Why did you make me do this, Mum? Sorry, that wasn't about you. That was just my own problem. Why is there a pineapple on top of the trophy?
Is it a pineapple? Is it a pineapple on top of the trophy?
Yeah, it's a pineapple, yeah.
Is it because you're meant to fill it with lilt? Try that tonight, after the baby. Do that.
We keep presuming that they just give you this thing. Presuming the thing is now back in a safe somewhere. Do you get to have it for any period of time?
That was the last time I saw it, actually. Yeah.
Where the hell is it?
You get like...
Did you turn away and then come back and what? The trophy's gone? Because this may not be the place to tell them.
We've told you the trophy has got a no nudity rule. We are taking that away from you.
This trophy has not seen a penis in 127 years. Not now. They took the trophy away. Did they give you a replica of it?
Yeah, a small one, yeah.
Can you fit your head in that one?
What can you fit in that one? No, cut the mic out. You need it. Does anyone wish to answer further questions? Sorry, the lights go down.
What are you meant to be answering?
You were supposed to actually go, what's going on here? I think we've blown the gap. We know what's going on in here, right? So anyway.
What's going on here is we're offending the only person that's done anything good in Britain this year.
That is very true. Yes, this is a picture of Andy Murray after winning his second Wimbledon title, making the first British man to win multiple Wimbledon singles titles since Fred Perry in 1935. Did you watch the match?
Of course I watched it. He's here.
Yeah.
And the first subject is identity. Who wants to come in with that? Josh.
I had to sign for a parcel recently. That's got a lot more difficult, hasn't it? Yeah, it used to be simple, didn't it, when you get a pen and a piece of card. Now you're given this kind of digital screen and plastic stick. And all you can do is some kind of zigzag up and down line. That bears no relation to any signature that has ever existed ever. Is that your signature? No! It's like the mark of Zorro. Is anyone checking this at the post office going, I've got bad news? Zorro is back. And he's signing for every parcel in the United Kingdom. Oh, I struggle filling in these forms. I filled in the census last year. My favourite question was on the final page. There was a question that said, please fill in the details of anyone that doesn't live with you but stayed over on the night of March the 23rd. Well, it's going to be very awkward if you've just had a one-night stand, isn't it? Just good morning, a few questions. What is your occupation? Well, I don't know. Well, I'm telling the government, actually, yeah. It's not the kind of thing you can just drop in, just go, morning, do you take sugar in your tea? Also, would you describe yourself as Caucasian?
Thank you very much, Josh Wilson.
Basically, Ed Balls has been implicated in the plot to overthrow Tony Blair, because he was part of this whole idea of rebranding Gordon Brown as Project Volvo, because Gordon Brown was supposed to be dull and unreliable, basically, or dull and reliable.
Yes. Well, it was they did some research. The two parties did... Well, Labour did some research, and they found that Gordon Brown was likened, if you could get an object, he was likened to a Volvo, a bear or a buffalo. And they did some research on David Cameron, and they found that he was likened to a spritzer, an Alco-Pop, a BMW or a horse.
Isn't this the idea that they wanted to rebrand him because when people given these abstract concepts, they thought Gordon Brown, they think of as beer and whiskey, and David Cameron as spritzer and Alco-Pops? Who could look at that and think that that's negative towards Gordon Brown?
Spritzer drinkers among us.
I love them. I tell you what, if it was a Campari, you'd have had my vote. The memos that this was based on leaked, right? The last time Ed Balls saw the memos, he says, they were on his desk when he was Secretary of State for Children, Schools and Families. What kind of incompetent person leaves incriminating paperwork on a desk after they've left a job? Wait a minute. Frankie's plan to oust Dara?
Never happened.
The plan was to try and make him appear more normal.
Yes.
This was the thing. They wanted to hide his exceptional school record and the fact that he excelled as a student and was fast-tracked through politics because he was a really good student and really clever. And they wanted to hide that fact and make him seem more normal because that makes him appeal to the voters, to be more normal. People want to vote for someone who's like them. I want someone exceptional in number 10. I don't want someone who's like me. I spent 2 hours yesterday trying to remember if I'd had a shower yet or not. That is true.
Sitting where I am now, I can tell you the answer for today is no.
Commercials that never made it to air.
Fungal foot problem.
Have you been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Of course you have, because that is the definition of an accident.
FIFA Summer Sofa Sale. Total office clear out. Bribe now, pay later.
Andrex, because who wouldn't want to wipe their ass with a puppy?
Carlsberg don't do your girlfriend, but I have.
What's that? Yeah, mate, I got some bad news about your dad.
Why pay more for ratchet, trifling-ass pilots when you can get to where you're going on EasyJet? A basic bitch will get you there.
We call it a Happy Meal. The cow we killed wasn't too chuffed, though.
Waitrose, 2 for the price of 3.
We had debts all over the place, but Wonga took all those debts and put them in one simple loan. They also took our house. Are your vet's bills getting on top of you? Then why not try Dognatas?
Want to save money on biscuits? Easy. Give blood.
From Laboratoire Garnier, Paris. Because if we said it was from Unit 5 of a Luton industrial estate, you wouldn't buy it, would you?
Struggling to sleep? Why not try 10 cans of Stella?
Did you mistake your girlfriend for a burglar on Valentine's Day? Then you need to go to Specsavers.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! The Lynx effect.
That one's accent is a bit more racist than that one's accent. There you go. Just compared the meerkats.
And it's nationality. Who wants to give us? Catherine.
Hello. I'm of mixed heritage, actually. I talk like a Canadian, but I tolerate my partner's drinking like an Irish girl. I travel a lot, from London to Ireland, and anyone who's flown Heathrow to Cork knows that on your way to the plane, they have signs reminding you how many chances you've got left to get drunk. They're like 6 licensed shops, 2 shops, 1 shop. It's like, what? Before I board an aircraft filled with wine to get to the land of Guinness? And the final shop is right at the gate. And in that shop, there's a sign that says, no ID, no sale. And I'm like, this is an international airport. How about no ID? How'd you get on the plane? It is in the boarding lounge, If a terrorist manages to sneak through levels of security at the world's busiest international airport, give him a pint.
Thank you very much, Catherine Ryan. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with, Milton. Let's spin the wheel. Transport is the topic.
So I've got my own private jet. The rest of the jacuzzi belongs to my mum. If you've got a sat-nav, don't put the name of the company you're visiting into it. I tried to take some mayonnaise back the other day. I ended up in Helmand Province. I mean, I've got a car, but there's nothing I like better than making a bonfire on the passenger seat. Driving up and down, opening and shutting the electric sunroof and pretending to be a steam train. My uncle, he was a taxi driver, but then one day he left home without any indication. So recently, I was fell walking in the Lake District. Well, it's not quite true. Recently, I fell walking in the Lake District. I was going to tell someone, but the pillar box was full of sugar puffs.
Thank you very much, Milton. OK, getting that round. Close over. Go on, sit back up.
Next topic is unlikely things to hear in hospital.
We need a drip. Somebody get me Michael Gove.
Now, the good news is your blood results have come back clear. The bad news is blood shouldn't be clear.
Oh, my God, yay! £350 million. Great news, thanks.
Time of death, Pim's o'clock.
Look, if you squeeze his drip really hard, he gets an erection.
I'm a junior doctor and I get paid enough.
Erectile dysfunction, you say? Does it hurt when I do this? And does it feel amazing when I do this?
Now, you have pneumonia. Would you like to keep that or gamble for the big prize?
I remember when my dick looked that young.
I am the leading gynecologist in this hospital. I work in the cafe, but I'm a bit of a legend.
Would anybody like a hand? I've just found a hand.
You have cancer. Sorry, you're having a cancer. Your baby is due July 15th.
Well, the good news, it's not spread. It might be jam or peanut butter.
I see you. I see you. No, can you tell me the way to the ICU?
We've had a look at your X-ray, and what we've found might alarm you. There's a big skeleton living in your body.
Yes, I think it's a curvature of the upper spine, but it's just a hunch.
Good news, Mrs. May. We managed to have your tear ducts repaired just in time for your big speech.
All right, yeah, now the point to the Tom Organist.
Our next round is called Newsreel. We play on a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask Hugh to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features Boris Johnson and David Cameron.
Oh, tally-ho, look out, posh boy coming through. I wonder if there's any grub. I'm absolutely starving.
Now, remember why we're here, Boris? We're here to reassure the public about spending cuts, not just so you can eat.
No, but look, there's cake. There's cake. There's loads of cake. I love cake. They've got all sorts of cake. They've got pink cake. They've got blue cake. What am I? Am I pink? Am I blue? Am I pink? I've never been pink. God, I sound like William Hague. Anyway, all the cake's on cameras. He's got loads of cash from the spending cuts.
Actually, this is the last £10 left in Britain, so we'd best be careful with it.
Well, I want a meringue. I love a meringue. I love all the cream in a meringue.
Well, why don't you share mine? I mean, times are hard.
Well, I could, I suppose, but I have a rule. I have a rule. I never share anything with another man, unless, of course, it's his wife. There we go. Now, careful, don't get any of the white stuff up there. No, that would be very bad. Anyway.
So, do you have any change? We were hoping to save some for the poor people. It doesn't really matter, but if there is some left over... Have you? £3, lovely. That's absolutely perfect.
God, there's a big crowd here. I wonder if I could do them for the congestion charge. They absolutely love me for the congestion charge. They love my blonde-haired buffoonery. They love me. Come on, Boris. Oh, yes, they love me. And they love me when I'm riding my bike. That's what they really love. Yes, oops.
There we go. That's the Pakistani betting syndicate satisfied.
Oh, look, lovely. Sticky fingers. Yes, I love a sticky finger. That's not the first. Oh, look, a genuine Cockney. Hello, how are you? Oh, Lauren Lummy, who shot Cock Robin, apples and pears. Down the old chimney and Mary Poppins, the Cray twins, innit?
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well done, you. Let's spin the wheel. Okay, the topic is work.
I nearly lost my job as a roofer when I was caught masturbating on the first day. Yeah, luckily, my boss said I could wipe the slate clean. I used to work at Waterstones. One day, a guy came in asking if we had any audiobooks with subtitles. I thought, hang on, that's a book. The circus near me held a competition to find the best contortionist, so I entered myself and won. In my old job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to work in panto. I've got 2 lawyers working for me at the minute. One's pro bono, and the other thinks he's a right pretentious twat. When my granddad was caught trying to stow away in the Merchant Navy, he offered to work his passage, which, as you can imagine, made him very popular. I hate people who phone me up just to complain about the weather, which is why I lost my job at Mountain Rescue. I was at a station the other day that had a piano on the platform, so I had a little tinkle on it, which saved me 30 pence. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. I bought a Microsoft Advent calendar. If you open too many windows at once, they all shut again for no bloody reason. Thank you.
Well done. Very good. Adding points for both of you. Well done. Come on, sit back in. We come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is rejected exam questions.
History. Did I delete it?
If cycling 10 miles a day uses up 400 calories, explain why Boris Johnson is still a fat bastard.
If the sun is 93 million miles away, how can that cost £32 in an Uber?
Where is Greece? Is it A, the southern Mediterranean, or B, up shit creek?
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Using examples in Michelangelo's work, write 500 words on why he was the best turtle.
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Question A. Media studies. Is it a real subject? Question B. Is it...
Using a compass and ruler, draw perfect cock and balls.
Is this a rhetorical question?
You may now commence your anal sex exam. Please turn over.
Explain how UKIP became a major force in British politics without using the word wanker.
If Jay-Z is unfortunate enough to have a problem with a bitch, how many problems does Jay-Z now have?
Aggravated violence, question 1. Why might you use a bit of rubber hosepipe? No marks.
What colour is this dress? White and gold or black and blue? Discuss.
If a train leaves the station at the correct time and arrives at its destination at the correct time, how cool would that be?
Chemistry. Me, you. Is there any?
Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Do you know that thing when a dog's eaten a bee?
Is David Cameron going, 6 pages? Is this really the complete list of taxpayers in Greece?
Is it David Cameron can almost smell the shit coming off the Tory manifesto? I only got a bit political, didn't I?
Is he looking at the tea menu and he's saying, I'll have the millionaire's shortbread, or as I call it, shortbread?
Is it Cameron upset to see no Dizzy Rascal on the karaoke songbook?
He does a very good bonkers, actually. He does a very good bonkers.
Is it Cameron orders Eton mess for dessert and for the country?
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, has Rob Beckett had a head transplant?
I've got a tiny dick now, but I love politics.
Have you got a third joke that you're going to do about... Go on.
Cameron preparing to sell NHS at auction. It's fun doing politics, isn't it? What a time to be alive.
Is that Cameron checking the TV listings going, Rob Beckett's on Mock the Week, that's the end of me, then?
His hard-hitting caustic satire is finishing me. He's mocking me on that week.
If the joke's not good enough, just put your hand up in the air.
Am I right, brothers? Am I right? Yeah. My dad's in the bath and I got some politics. Let's go!
Is it Cameron reading a note that just says, David, this is the only way I could speak to you. I haven't heard from you since May the 7th. Call me, Nick, XOXO.
Or is he in fact just going, all right, it says here, Nick Clegg is in fact doing the Sheffield Panto at Christmas. That's what it says here.
He's bounced back.
This, I think, is Cameron at the G7, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, yes. It's Cameron at the G7. Why is he having these high-level meetings?
He's trying to kind of get them to make some changes to the EU to convince... Because we're doing this whole EU vote. I think the EU is misbranded. No one would want to leave if they called it the League of Legends. If they said, do you want to leave the League of Legends? I go, no, mate, I'm the chairman.
We've got to vote again already. I'm going to start feeling like...
It's in 2 years' time.
Oh, I'm going to start feeling like a pedo waiting around school halls at 8 in the morning. It's embarrassing.
You don't have to wait around for 2 years. In fact, I strongly
I'm really into politics now. I'm going to think about it.
What does he ask?
He wants major concessions, mainly on free movement of people, on immigration, doesn't he?
Yes. But that is essentially the whole point of it, is that you can't. Yeah, and you can't deny benefits to people because you've got to treat them as your own citizens, right? So how is he going to stop European immigrants coming into the country?
Dara, you've been claiming off us for 10 years, mate.
All right, don't cheer that. Yeah, finally somebody has a nerve to say it. Mr. Giant Head Posh Leg.
It'd be brilliant now if UKIP made you a campaign issue.
Stop this man for too long. Is human. Got a big picture of me. So, big picture of me going like that. This man, bam, bam, bam. Picture of me. Just grabbing all your cash.
He's visiting.
Toura, lura, lura.
30 years ago, it was all Warsaw Pact, but now it's empty.
If we leave Europe, we'll have to pay more for Kinder eggs. Because they're going up as it is.
Yeah, I know.
Like 70
You know, if we leave Europe, we'll get the Kinder Egg and we'll open up and there'll be no toy. my God. I did not expect that to have quite the effect it had. Right? Wow, somebody just cancelled Christmas for the
Well, what we could do is deliver France an ultimatum saying that if we don't get our way, we'll call Greg's a patisserie.
We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board, 6 categories. Hal, which category would you like?
Sport.
OK, the category is sport. The answer is yoga, sushi and ice. What is the question?
Is this what Eric Pickles uses to deal with trapped wind?
Is it what would the 3 wise men have brought Jesus if he was born in Notting Hill?
You think your Chinese tattoo says keep the faith. What does it actually mean?
Is it in fact just what does Madonna smell of?
Is it 16 years from now, what will my son tell me when I ask him what A-levels he's doing?
Is it name 3 things Nigella won't be asking Charles Saatchi to pay for anymore?
Is it Pingu's Rider?
He did nothing. I'm doing nothing till I get more sushi in here.
What is the strapline to the hit Japanese television programme, The Loose-Limbed Fish Eaters of the Arctic?
Is it what answer will you get if you ask Paris Hilton to name the elements?
Is it, if you own a bar in Soho, what should you call it to guarantee it'll always be chock full of wankers?
Is it simply what are 3 things which are very difficult to sell door to door?
It is name 3 things that can make you lose the feeling in your legs.
Sushi? Yeah. Do you know what sushi actually is?
Is it what Andy Murray uses to keep up his training regime?
It absolutely is. Well done. Yes, the question I was looking for, name 3 things that were part of Andy Murray's preparations for his historic Wimbledon win. This is news that in scorching temperatures, Andy Murray defeated the world #1 Novak Djokovic to become the first British man in 77 years to win the Wimbledon men's singles final. An integral part of helping Murray achieve his success was his health and fitness regime, which included yoga, a 6,000-calorie-a-day sushi-rich diet and post-match ice baths. Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it?
Did I watch the ice bath?
The ice bath? No, that wasn't broadcast.
Apparently, he actually has ice baths in a wheelie bin. And I think that can't be enjoyable, can it? Particularly if he does it on a Tuesday and gets carried away by the cancers.
It was a historic moment because it was after years of naysaying, years of doubt, years of, can it be done? After 77 years, Andy Murray proved that Scottish people can operate in that temperature.
I know, by the way, I know that the last year Andy came into the studio after after not winning the final. It's kind of become a little tradition, and I don't want to make a big thing of it, but he's in the back of the room tonight there, enjoying the show so far, Andy, laughing away there. Yes, ha 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 ha! Don't freeze frame it. It gives it away. Gives it away. Look, we sent the invitation.
He's had a shave since the final. It's amazing.
Mark, we're laughing away. I love that one. Did you like that one as well, Andy? Do you think that's very funny? Laughing away. Very, very good.
The fact that the bloke who was here last year behind him's come back again.
Good to have him back as well. Good to have Terry there. Hiya, Terry. Good to have you here. Why will Sir Ranulph Fiennes not be at home for Christmas?
He'll be dead. He's dead in the snow. Like that. That's why.
Why did he know? They surely freeze like that. Why is it people always freeze like that?
He's walking across the South Pole for Christmas.
For Christmas.
I love that song. Walking across the South Pole for Christmas.
Chris Rea is
I'm gonna
best
lose
work.
my
They
other
reckon
limb.
for run off science, they reckon it's going to be minus 90 at some point. Minus 90. A popularity rating Nick Clegg would kill you.
He said it's the most hostile environment on Earth, but he's clearly never been in a Wetherspoons at breakfast time.
Well, it was his partner that came up with the idea, isn't it? It wasn't him that came up with the idea, and his partner's not going, which I love. Yeah, we're going to go across the South Pole at winter. You come in. Nah. Now, you go. I'll watch from here.
His partner said it's because he would miss out on his pension. That is the worst excuse I've ever heard.
Hang on, who would miss out on the pension? Oh, the partner isn't going because they missed out on the
Yeah, he said
pension?
it would affect his pension. Mainly because he'd die, I imagine.
Well, he was 65, wasn't he?
His pension. Is he...
Well, I read this.
Is he gay?
No.
What?
No, hang on,
no, his travel partner.
Oh, his travel partner. Oh, God, I thought I missed a big story somewhere on the way about Ronald Fine.
We're going to go across the Arctic at night, and we are going to look amazing. No one's going to be able to see us.
That's not fur for warmth. That's just a big headdress, like in the Village People.
Yeah. Sorry. He's done everything, Ralph. He's climbed Everest. He's been over both of the poles. He's found the lost city of Rome. He's taken an expedition up the White Nile. You can't help thinking, is everything all right at home?
What are you running from? What are you running away from?
He took us on that expedition where he sawed his fingers off. That was with a saw that apparently he'd taken in case he needed to saw his fingers off. That's his pessimism, isn't it?
Do you know the best thing is now that you can actually get that as an app.
I was in Siberia not that long ago, minus 52 degrees, right? And it was so cold. We were told, we were in a tent, if we went outside for a piss, right, we had to shake as we pissed, because otherwise it was going to freeze back onto our penis, right? I'll tell you, that was a hell of a quick piss. Nothing frightens you more than you thinking you might get frostbite of the penis. Which was when I was quite grateful I've still got a foreskin, because I figured if I did, I'd still have a little bit to lose and it wouldn't actually matter.
I think just to come out of a tent in the morning and see like a sculpture of kind of half-arced. Quite dangerous. Ah, Andy, why don't you go further away from the tent?
Now we play a round called Your Grexits Are Here, Here and Here. This game involves James and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched the Wheel of News, and whoever chooses to stop, one of the performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is... parties. Who wants to go in that? James.
I went to a surprise party recently with my friend Darryl. We were all in his living room, all of us, in the dark, hiding. His girlfriend turned to us all, she went, right, he's going to be here in a minute. When he gets in, everyone jump out, yell surprise, and that will be really surprising. I argued it'd be a lot more surprising if instead of making all that commotion, we all just stood there in his living room in the dark, just... When he comes in and turns the lights on, see how surprised he is then? It's a good party. I schmoozed. I'm good at schmoozing. Buttering people up. I'll give you some schmoozing tips, why not? A lot of people will tell you when you're schmoozing, have a good icebreaker, right? Break the ice. What they won't tell you, at the end of the conversation, unbreak the ice. You don't want anyone else swooping in, taking advantage of all the lovely little ice cubes that you created. So freeze it over again before you leave. So as you're leaving, just slide something under the fence, like death comes to us all, something like that.
So, Gary is left. Let's see what topic you have, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is childhood.
I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. And apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. They love that. Every Christmas Day, we'd always have pigs in blankets, or as you probably call them, relatives sleeping in the spare room. Winnie the Pooh, possibly the most vindictive chapter in Nelson Mandela's autobiography. It was only after I shot the 5th zombie that I started to wonder why they were all carrying bags of sweets and ringing my doorbell. I've been trying to recapture my lost youth. I really must get that cellar door fixed. One time when I was a kid, I bought a chocolate bar. On the inside of the wrapper, it said, "You're a loser." I wouldn't mind if there'd been some sort of competition on. To make things worse, it was a boost. As a family, we couldn't decide whether to have Nana buried or cremated, so in the end, we let her live. My 13-year-old cousin's already started taking heroin. It's amazing, isn't it? They shoot up so fast these days.
Oh, God. Very good. Point it, I'm going to go to Lady. Everyone come back. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way to the performance area, please. I'll call out ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on Comic Relief.
And we'd just like to thank the donation of 160,000 turkeys from a Mr. B. Matthews.
Remember, tonight isn't all about comedy. Here's Ben Elton.
Of course, we're also supporting projects in the UK. For example, this is my extension.
My name's Ade. I'm 7 years old, and I have to walk 5 miles every day to get fresh water. So I really don't have time to play footballs with fat celebrities. Fuck off and give me the money.
Right, here's one for you. 3 Ethiopians walk into a bar.
If we remove all these villagers' cataracts, one day they might be able to make our shoes.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. Some of those kids are fatter than I am.
And remember, 20% of everything you give goes directly to a grinning warlord wearing a necklace of human finger bones.
This village had 1 goat until I ate it.
Later, Dawn French will be climbing into a bath of beans. Not for charity, it's her supper.
We're from the Maasai tribe. When are we going to get that money for that ident we did?
Now we play a round called Mock the 9 o'clock News. This game involves Zoe, Stuart, Andy and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performance stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is finance. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
British Airways, their answer to the credit crunch, they've asked their employees, can you come into work for nothing for a month or take a month off unpaid? There's a tricky choice, isn't there? And who is going to want to fly British Airways? The last thing you want to hear when you get on the plane, this is your captain speaking. I'm not being paid today. Good luck. I am looking forward to seeing the credit crunch version of Monopoly. You know, instead of getting £1,500 from the bank, you have to lend the bank £1,500. And then everybody keeps on going round the board with nobody buying any property whatsoever because they always think it's going to be cheaper next time they go around.
Well done, Andy. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is Sarah Palin. Who wants to talk about that?
Ah, Sarah Palin. She was apparently an ex-beauty queen of a town in Alaska called Wasilla. And the press were very keen on this. They kept saying, you know, the beauty queen Sarah Palin, the ex-beauty queen, the beauty queen Sarah Palin. Let me tell you something, people. Wasilla is a very, very small town. Population 8, possibly 9,000 people at the best of times. To call it a one-horse town is to over-exaggerate the number of horses in that town by one. They timeshare a horse with another shithole down the road. Now, my brother used to live in Anchorage, Alaska, and I have been to Wasilla, and in the 5 minutes it took us to drive across Wasilla, I was voted beauty queen of Wasilla. It was no big deal, honestly. An otter and a caribou came second and third, respect.
Thank you very much, Joey. That leaves us with Stuart and Russell. Let's spin the wheel again. The next topic is men's health. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I went to the doctors recently with anal issues. I thought I had cancer, not I can't put my CDs in order. But it's a terrifying moment, right? So scary, because in your head, I'm going to die. And I went there and I took down my trousers. Obviously, we had a chat first, and it just... I'm not very well. You can see that, mate. This is a chip shop. You've never done it slower in your life. I was just peeling them down. I got them down to about there. Just heard his booming voice go, in the other room. You have a decision to make there. Do you pull them up or do you waddle with pride, right? You waddle, that's what you do. When you waddle, you can't help but giggle. The last thing you need is to be giggling before a man's going to pop his finger in your Richard, because now you're a wiggling target, right? I'll be honest, when the finger goes in, you're not laughing anymore! You're like a red arrow! And that's the moment they chat. How you doing? Fine. Can you draw the curtains? We've gathered quite a crowd. Look at that, it's Atrium Steps and he's getting violated. I'm not alone!
OK, Stuart, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is school.
You are looking at a very proud Canadian who's very proud of the education system in Canada. No, I was horrible in school. I failed math so many times I can't even count. I preferred French over chemistry because the chemistry teacher and I just didn't have any, rapport. One teacher said I'd be a better student if I spent less time flirting. I immediately jumped off his lap. One teacher used to always say I wasn't very observant, but you know what? That was his or her opinion. I was going to join the debating team, but someone talked me out of it. In high school, I was voted most likely to reminisce.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Zoe and Stuart. OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't want to hear at work.
Oh, you've already given Michael his dosage.
It's not a photocopier, it's a shredder. And what have you done to your arse?
So, you probably want to know how I got the nickname Dog Botherer.
Imagine that. My first day at work, and I appear to have slipped on a wet floor. I think I might be entitled to compensation.
Do you mind if I leave early? I've got to pick up the kids before their parents get there.
He's the CEO, he's the COO, and I'm head of the agricultural division, the CIEIO.
I want you all to put down those football bits that you've been sewing, because I've heard that it's somebody's very special 11th birthday. And we've got you a photo of a cake. Panchawaho, chongwa, panchawaho.
Don't worry, this isn't the first operation I've done. Last time I got almost the whole way round before the buzzer went off.
We've run out of semi-skimmed, so I've topped your coffee up with breast milk.
What do you mean it's not your turn to make the coffee? This is fucking Starbucks.
Get off your shit! Whoops! This air traffic control thing's not as easy as it looks.
I've always wanted to work in a library! If only I could read!
The next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Is this a picture of what Donald Trump refers to as patient zero?
Worst Stevie Wonder tribute ever.
Peter Stringfellow emerges from another cracking night at Angels.
Hands up if you made a bracelet out of some spare handbag chain.
By the reflection in her glasses, she appears to be looking at a tornado of some sort as well.
She's trying to prove she's not an ageing candidate, but she's left her napkin tucked in from dinner.
That soup gets everywhere, doesn't it?
Because people have been saying she's using a body double, haven't they? And I think, well, it's nice to see Judy Finnegan back in work.
I think the answer you're after...
Yes, Hugh, what is that?
That is Hillary Clinton.
Thank you very much, Hugh.
Yes.
She's mocking Donald Trump with her normal-sized fingers.
Yes.
Look at these.
Yes, this is a picture of US Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton in New York, where she was taken ill this week after being diagnosed with pneumonia. Is this like a huge bump in the road for her?
Well, yes, because people say, oh, no, she's got a cough. Let's elect a racist instead.
Because he's done many things, but he hasn't coughed recently.
Yeah, I this idea. Even if she's dying, even if she's dead, we're better off electing her. I have pulled stuff out of my shower drain that would be a better president than Donald Trump and would look better on his stupid head.
I think it's very shrewd of her to get a disease that Trump supporters definitely can't spell.
He's furiously looking to N in the medical dictionary. Maybe there's a K in front of it.
Trump's got to be careful, like, you know, just keep going on about her health all the time. Look at him. Like, if a heart attack was a person, it would look like Donald Trump.
But that's the problem, because you've got older candidates. I think she's 68, he's 70. Not like in England, obviously. Cameron can get in. He can rip the country in half for the sake of a power play, and boom, he's back on the after-dinner circuit before he hits 50. Nice.
What are the claims that have been made about Hillary's health?
That they're using a body double.
Yes, exactly. She's using a body. She's 2 weeks,
that it's not actually Hillary. And I think, well, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that she's got someone else to do the difficult jobs for her, would it? Monica Lewinsky. Yeah.
Thank you for the clarity, brother.
Thank you. So I'll just spell that out.
Yes, various claims, you know, because God love us. It turns out the internet is full of people who have these theories. She's had several strokes, apparently, and suffered some seizures, that she wears adult diapers. The National Enquirer claims she'd be dead in 6 months last September. A Republican congressman said she had special needs and was mentally impaired. Forensic pathologists suggested she is being poisoned and that she has multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, HIV, vascular dementia and lupus. These are all claims made about
all
her.
that taken into account, she's looking fucking amazing.
She is.
Donald Trump looks like he's using a body double, and it's inside of him trying to get out.
Now we play a round called I'm So Brexcited and I Just Can't Hide It. This game involves Nish and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is the movies. Who wants to come in that? Nish.
I'm a big movie fan, and I'm very excited that there's going to be a new James Bond. Now, my pick personally would be Idris Elba. I think he'd be an amazing James Bond, but some people are very unhappy. I was reading an article about this, and the first comment under the article started with the words, "This is not a race thing." Which immediately makes you think, it's definitely a race thing. This is not a race thing, it's just James Bond is not black. Now, I've got terrible news for this person. James Bond is not real. He's not a real person. He doesn't exist. If you're talking about fidelity to Ian Fleming's original character, Daniel Craig has a smartphone and a laptop, and in one of the Pierce Brosnan films, he drove an invisible car. So it might be a bit late if you just suddenly become a stickler for canon. And the second comment started with the words, "This is political correctness gone mad. This is the ethnic minority lobby getting their way again." And hey, we all know if the ethnic minority lobby's been campaigning for anything, it is for a black James Bond. People have been out in the streets. We want a black James Bond now. We don't care about police brutality. All we care about is 007. Hashtag Black Bonds Matter. We will settle for a Mexican, maybe. And who can forget the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King? I have a dream that one day a black man will play a fake spy.
Thank you very much. Well done, Nish. The first subject is politics. Oh, Nish.
So, we're living through a real period of political instability, both here and in America. And in the last couple of months, some unlikely saviours have emerged. Tony Blair is considering a return to frontline politics, and Chelsea Clinton is contemplating a run for the Senate in 2020. And to those people, let me just say this. Maybe just leave it. If you want to turn your public opinion around, the way to do it is philanthropy, right? And let's look at someone who has turned their public opinion around through philanthropy. Look at Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates, for the last 15 years, with his wife Melinda, has spent all his time trying to fight the spread of infectious disease. I don't understand the science behind what's going on. From what I can tell, Bill Gates is trying to bribe AIDS to fuck off, right? And we like him for that. But in the 90s, we hated Bill Gates because of the paperclip. Basically, there was a paperclip, and you turn on Word and the paperclip would appear, and it would ask you if you're writing a letter, but you weren't writing a letter. So you're like, I hate you, Bill Gates! I'm gonna buy a Mac forever! And there are people genuinely putting their money where their mouth is in regards to philanthropy. Look at J.K. Rowling. We all need to be very nice to J.K. Rowling from now on, because she may be about to be all we've got economically. We have no manufacturing sector. Our service industry has been driven by mass migration from the EU. After Brexit, our entire economy may depend on the adventures of a fake wizard that technically ended in 2007, right? We got the play, we got the films, we got the film tour. Can we do a play tour? JK, please write another book. Wales is sinking. Maybe something about Harry trying to get his finances in order in his 30s, like Harry Potter and the Mystery of the Fixed Rate ISA.
Thank you very much, Rich. This game involves Nish and Milton, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first topic is health. Who's coming out? Nish.
I had a bit of a health emergency last year. I was doing the washing up and I cut my hand. I was washing up and I pushed my hand into a glass. The glass shattered and it slashed my hand here and I had to go to hospital. And let me tell you this, the NHS staff are incredible. They're really nice to me. They're really sweet. One of them called me a brave boy. Which is good because I was being one, so I don't know what you're laughing at, OK? I'm the one with the badge. Anyway, before I did that, I did something which I probably regret doing. I called NHS 111. Now, if you don't know what this service is, it's a service the government has brought in to replace NHS Direct. So if you have a non-life-threatening emergency, you're supposed to dial 111 on your phones. Now, I'm sure that these people are very nice, but based on my experience, they have proportionately less skill than their numerical value compared to 999, because it was the blind leading the blind. At one point, she said, "How is the blood?" And I said, "Red," because I had no idea. Then she said, "Is there a lot of blood?" I said, "Yes," because there was a lot of blood. And she said, "Is there enough to fill a mug?" I've got no idea. I don't wish to brag. I have a lot of different mug sizes in my house. Also, while this was happening, I was just panicking. I wasn't decanting the blood in the hope it would be poured back into my body at a later date. Then she said, "Is the blood flowing or oozing?" I said, "I have no idea what the difference is between those two things is." And she said, "Oh, there's a difference." And I was like, "I'm not getting into a semantic debate with you while blood is gushing out of my hand." And she just went, "Gushing, thank you very much."
Well done, Nish, come on. Okay, so that leaves Nish. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is race.
I'll take this one, Reece. Difficult and interesting time to be a non-white person living in Britain right now. But I think things are improving, especially to be a non-white comedian. Because 10 years ago, I got some advice from a former agent. She said, "Nish, you should stop mentioning on stage that you're not white." And I was like, people are going to know. I'm not exactly flying under the radar race-wise here. So a couple of weeks later, I got offered an audition in a sitcom. Now, that part required me to do what was cheerfully referred to in the script as the accent, right? Weren't talking about French, were they? Now, when that came in, I said, "There's absolutely no way that I'm going to do that. It's cheap, it's Uncle Tom, it's selling out my entire cultural heritage." And she said, "This is the problem with you, Nish. You take too high-minded approach. You'll never be successful in comedy because you will never do comedy that relates to the man in the factory." And when she said that, I said, "I don't really relate to your paradigm of the man in the factory. I think what you're trying to say is that I should appeal to as high a percentage of the British population as possible. But in the 80s, we shifted from a manufacturing to a service-based economy. So actually, if you wanted to talk about most of the British public, what you should have said is the man who works in the shop or the man who works in a hotel." And she said, "I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about."
Thank you very much, Nish. Points in the line go to Reece James. Come back. The first topic is travel. Who wants to come into that? Chris?
Hi. Don't know what's happening. It's all different on the telly. I take public transport quite a lot doing this job. I'm not a fan. I don't really like being in public, walking around. It's nothing. I don't get normal things in public when I'm walking along. I don't get normal interactions. I don't get, "Excuse me, sir, what time is it? Excuse me, where's the train station?" I get like, "Do you like leaves?" Like, I could write a book on it, right? Another thing is, as a northerner, people said to me before I came to London to do work and stuff, people said, "Oh, the tube. Oh, the tube's awful. No one talks. No one talks." Good. Brilliant. I don't want nutters on public transport telling us what they've had for their breakfast, right? I want to be left alone. You know, in the tube, if you've never been on the tube, come to London just to go on the tube. It's an incredible experience. No one, literally, silence. It's amazing. Someone could just burst into flames on the tube, and all you'd get is one man looking up from a Kindle going, prick. So you'd get. Even the person who was in flames would just be quietly going, excuse me, can I just squeeze past? I'm very sorry. I don't mean to cause a fuss, but I'm in zone 8 of my oyster Carl's Mountain. I'm very sorry.
Come on, Chris, well done. OK, that leaves us with Rob. Let's see what you've got. Let's spin the wheel again. And the topic is class. Stuck with it? You're stuck with it?
Yeah, I'm working class. If you're not sure, there's a little test you can do to see if you're working class or not. You're normally working class if your television is bigger than your bookcase. That's how it works. Like, at my mum's house, big 50-inch plasma on the wall, little Billy bookcase from IKEA next to it. DVDs on it normally. That's how it works. The thing is that my girlfriend's very middle class. That's a problem. She used to be upper class, but we're together now. Her sister has got a boyfriend, right, called Rupert. Rupert. That's in the name. I'm not having a go. It's a decent name. I just never thought I'd meet one. Do you know what I mean? I was in the pub with him. Rupert, do you want another Malbec? What's happened to me? And the thing is, though, like, when they go around their house, right, they like in my house, growing up, Saturday night, you'd have dinner on your lap watching You've Been Framed, right? Bit of a chavvy way, chavvy dinner. That's what we used to do. You go around their house, you sit in the conservatory, you have wine, talk about politics, right? And I started thinking, oh, this is how you should do it, innit? This is how you should do dinner. Then after about 10 minutes, I realised I haven't got an opinion and I'd quite like to see a dog fall in a puddle.
Well done. Well done to both of you. Points for both of you. Come on back. Well done. Lovely stuff. Come on. Yes. The question I was looking for is, what will the gap between Olympic Games be for the newly announced 2020 host city Tokyo? This is news that Tokyo has beaten rivals Madrid and Istanbul to stage the 2020 Olympics and Paralympics. The last time the city hosted the Olympics was in 1964.
France are going to be pissed off, aren't they? Because, like, Japan's got it, Spain didn't get it, and Turkey didn't get it. Now, Spain didn't have any money, Turkey's next to a war zone, and Japan's had some nuclear meltdown, and still Paris can't get the Games.
Yeah. Aren't the 2020 Olympics for people with perfect vision?
Harsh for the 2020 Paralympics blind events, if you expect that as well. Honestly.
I think the mascot for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics has got to be Godzilla, hasn't it? I mean, it'd be fantastic. They're all doing the sailing, and then suddenly this mascot looms out of the sea. They'll break world records. They'll never have sailed that quickly.
They said, didn't they? They said that Fukushima is no problem because it's how far away is it?
It's 100 miles away.
So that gives them lots of time to stop the mutant lizard destroying the opening ceremony.
I didn't know Boris Johnson was going.
Yeah.
What are the Japanese government going to do about Fukushima?
In my experience, these things tend to sort themselves out.
Give it a couple of million years, it'll be fine.
This too shall pass. Just about 10 million years.
Just hope during the Olympics the rowers don't fall out of their boats, you know, into the radioactive water. Double skulls? Yes, actually.
Yeah. Copters fours.
I'm with you. The Fukushima is they're going to build an ice wall to trap the water because the water's dripping out of them.
Is it being solved by the X-Men or something?
I'm not saying they're going to build it with their minds. They're going to have to take with the machine and stuff. They're going to storm, make ice wall with your breath.
What will the ice wall do then? You did physics.
It'll block the bad things from getting into the other place. Obviously, I've made it a little bit more comprehensible.
They've actually restarted fishing off Fukushima, haven't they? And so you can now apparently get real fish fingers and, and a cod drumstick. So,
Which sports, by the way, are back in the Olympics and look like they weren't going to be in?
Whaling.
Yeah.
You watch, they'll be right back in with that.
Yeah.
Kiss chase.
Yeah, kiss chase is in, yeah.
Hide and seek, they're doing that.
Hide and seek was. Somebody actually did propose hide and seek.
Iraq could win that.
Yeah. Tasneem Aslam, spokesman for the Pakistani Foreign Ministry, the actual quote she said was, anyone who describes Islam as a religion as intolerant encourages violence, which is really having it both ways, to be honest.
There's a Qatari Muslim scholar who's called, in answer to this, called for a day of anger, which I think is not a day of action, or a day of anger. What is it to really take it out of you if you have to spend the whole day just in a mood? Coming on, what's for dinner today? After your work, having to pretend to be angry all the time. And how do you make sure the women are doing it as well? You know, I hope you're frowning behind that black
That Ed was saying, the Pope doesn't seem to have his finger on the pulse. He's the head of the Catholic Church. They've never been that up to date, have they? They've always stayed a little bit behind on the...
Yeah, well, no, we have, because I remember the last one. I remember JP2, as he's known in the street.
Yeah.
J to the P to the I. Because he apologized, in his last days, he apologised for the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
How old is this guy?
There is.
He's old, right? Yeah, sorry about that. We're in high spirits. We're all a bit drunk.
One of the great things that this Pope said was he said that we must all take the Da Vinci Code with a pinch of salt. And you think, well, he can talk. Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous, the idea that Jesus was married. We all know that he rose from the dead and flew up into the sky.
The Pope effectively just saying that he thought Christianity was superior to Islam.
Yes, he was.
But isn't that essentially his job? He is the head of the Catholic Church. He's not supposed to be there bigging up Islam, is he?
No. There's a difference between bigging up Islam and describing it as evil and inhuman. I think
not that he did that. All he did was quote a 14th century text, which, let's face it, compared to the Bible, was a hyper-modern text.
Yes, but I think we've all learnt, and surely the Pope has learnt, that the Muslim world tends to be...
What are you saying about the Muslims?
Touchy.
I think if you're going to lash out at a religion, lash out at the Buddhists. If you make a Buddhist really, really angry, the worst thing he'll do is set fire to himself.
Where has Jesus turned up recently?
In everyone, Dara.
He's turned up on MySpace, hasn't he?
He has turned up on MySpace,
He's got his own little page on MySpace now, and it's something along the lines of, you know, you've got to try and spot where you might be able to see Jesus, isn't it? And there's this big picture of, like, a pint glass with his face on it, and you're supposed to be... As if the only time you would see Jesus was after you'd finished a certain amount of alcohol.
Lines you wouldn't hear in a TV detective show.
Next up, on Channel 5, a woman has a painful wrist in RSI Miami.
Of course I dusted for Prince. I'm his cleaner, and he prefers to be known as the artist formerly known as Prince.
How did I recognise him from just his genitalia? Well, it was the red and blue paisley pyjamas around the outside.
For dental thinking leopold, dental plinken planken, leer control that they continue. El volge cabal, utebel contal. Do you not speak Danish?
This week, Rosemary and Thyme are joined by two Indian detectives. turmeric and chilli.
You're going to arrest me for making lewd and childish innuendos? I hope you don't expect me to come quietly.
This week there's panic in Midsummer as they meet their first black man.
Ah, you said it was a whodunit. Yeah, we arrested Hugh Dennis.
I think I have solved it, Watson. No shit, Sherlock.
There has been a heinous crime committed on the Orient Express. Somebody has done a shit while the train was still in a station.
Leave me alone, Watson. I'm going to go back into my mind palace and have the wank of a lifetime.
Yeah. The murderer has cut out the victim's tongue. Let's get that back to the lab. I've got some envelopes need licking.
Now, Constable, the fact that you've had to redo the chalk outline 17 times should surely be an indication that the victim is still alive.
I shoot my gun like I shoot my load into my hand.
You're under arrest. You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say means you'll be an actor rather than an extra and you get paid a bit more.
So you say that at the time of the murder, you were hosting Daybreak on ITV. So there's no witnesses to corroborate.
Hello, we're the fashion police. Let's see the body. Oh, blue with green. He deserves to die.
I bumped into Rob at Glastonbury. He was so excited about being there. You should have seen his little face.
So, right, I agreed to do Glastonbury because it said you're on at 12:50. What I didn't read was AM. I was expecting a nice little midday gig, and I was there for 12 hours before I was on. And if you do a poo there, you have to... The toilets, basically the toilets is scaffold over wheelie bins, and there's a hole over each wheelie bin. You have to take a cup of mud with you. There's bags of mud, and then you do a poo, and you have to pour your mud over your poo. I felt like a cat.
Are you telling me that your cat can hold a cup? That toilet situation is just like, so you've got scaffolding and you've got wheelie bins underneath.
Yeah, 1/3 of the toilets were kind of essentially a compost heap. So they wanted to recycle. They could use it as human waste as it. Yeah. So they had people with sand or soil, whatever.
Well, why do you need fertiliser over that? All everyone's having all weekend it's cider and kebabs. What are you trying to grow with that? What are they trying to grow? People to go on Jeremy Kyle?
My mum had a house in Sri Lanka, and she had one of those toilets that just goes straight... The poops go straight into the ground, and that she had mango trees behind the toilet. The mangoes were absolutely enormous. I've never seen... They were much bigger behind the toilet than they were anywhere else in that whole bit. But my mum didn't allow us to eat them because she said they're poor mangoes. Like, no, we weren't...
My God, if you package them up in Waitrose, middle-class people these are poo mangoes. They're the only mangoes I get.
Oh, no! I ordered from Ocado. They've substituted my poo mangoes for shitty beans. That's not fair.
Every time I have a mango, I think of your mum having a poo. Poo mango. That's your fault.
Hold on a second, mate. Hold on a second. I said I took a poo, and now you've made the leap, just brought my mum into the situation.
She has shits now and again.
My mum has never shit in her life, man. How dare you talk like that about my mother?
My mum's ruined mangoes, my dad's ruined baths. Between us, we're killing this country.
Oh, I think we've just scraped off a layer there. Is that a story from your childhood? What's going on?
A couple of weeks ago from the
I see. Oh, right. Don't watch myself.
No, I know. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the Prime Minister, the American President and the Chancellor of Germany. Well, what does CIDW stand for?
Is it in fact all they've achieved at the G20? Checked in, drank wine.
Is Merkel saying, Cameron, it's Denzel Washington?
She presumably is suggesting an answer to the crisis, isn't she? She's saying, call in Darth Vader.
Or she's saying, careful, I declare war.
Is it in fact Cameron interrupts Dirty Weekend?
Is it Cameron introduces drunk woman? Because she does look there.
She looks leery anyway.
I reckon it's Merkel's going to the vending machine to get some snacks, so she's checking the order. She's going, is it crunchy, ice cream, Diet Coke, what's it?
Is it David Cameron saying, children, damn, where?
Is it Angela Merkel saying, I've lived my life like a candle in the wind?
I've heard a lot of bad things about Men in Black 3, but it looks pretty good now they've cast Angela Lansbury in it.
Can I get the correct answer, please?
Is it Cameron issues dire warning?
That's very good. Well done. Thank you very much, Joe. Things you don't want to hear from your flatmate.
That's my milk in the fridge. I squeeze it out of my tits with a vice.
No, we can't share the electricity bill. I've got a phone charger and a laptop, and you're on a life support machine.
My last flat was just like Friends. Have you seen the one where Joey kills everybody?
I love talking to you. With you, I can
be my real self.
There's just two of us. Well, three if you count God.
I'd give it 10 minutes in the toilet if I were you. That one could talk.
Well, if you don't think I'm a nosy bastard, why did you write that in your diary?
Oh, that's just a novelty shower gel in the shape of a webcam.
Hey, you said there wasn't enough room to swing a cat. Look at this.
I don't see why I should pay for half the loo roll when I never use any.
I tell you what, that Hoover is powerful.
What health U-turn has the government made this week?
It's on cigarette packaging. They were planning to say that cigarettes were going to have to come in plain white packets.
In Canada, and they have the photographs on the packets as well, but they also have in the French provinces, and like in Quebec, they've got it in both English and in French, the health warnings. And I bought a packet of cigarettes, and on one side it said cigarettes cause cancer, and on the other side it said, "Le cigarette cause le cancer." Was that really entirely necessary? If it wasn't for that le, and then like the French people, there is no le, they could not be talking to us. I will smoke with impunity.
If you want to put people off smoking, just make one cigarette in every packet explosive. How about that? Or genetically modify cigarettes so that as you smoke them, they go, "Help, I'm shrinking, I'm shrinking!"
It's like the government's Drink Aware campaign, though, is it? Who doesn't actually drink aware? Who has 4 pints of Stella, starts dribbling, punching themselves in the face, going, "This has come as a complete shock to me."
On Health Matters, what is Michael Gove being encouraged to do?
Fuck off.
That's not going out.
Chris, he only asked a question, it's his job.
Oh, OK. On Health Matters, what is Michael Gove being encouraged to do?
Piss off.
Wow. It is.
Ask again! Ask again!
Asking, if you keep asking, we can get the swearing down each time. So by the end, it's just shove off, you Nancy.
Oh, it really is the last show in the series. When are we playing Kerplunk? And
the difference.
Can I ask the question?
No, you've already asked it 3 times. Why don't you answer it yourself? You've got the answers.
Well, where's the point of us being here?